Your twin flame is not with you and you're desperately trying hard to get them back, come what may. You're ready to do whatever it takes to get them back. So you are becoming like a obsessive person in love who is holding so much of uncertainty, insecurity, fear, and the overall aim of your life is how to make that person come back to you. If you are not understanding why the person has got disconnected from you or why that person is running, you will keep going into the loop endlessly with this overthinking process that why they are running and what can I do to make them come back. So most of your focus in your journey is about how can I make the person come back to me. You will go to tarot readings, you will go to astrologers, you would do psychic readings. Most of the readings will tell you that, oh, within 2 months the masculine is going to come back. And that energy was so much in the repellence because there was so much that we had to purge. Probably we were really carrying a lot of baggage and negativity in our auric field. And because of that negativity at both sides, there was this absolute energetic repulsion that took place. And because of that, we kept running from each other for 7 years almost after that. First thing I definitely want to mention is that chaser is living their life in some sort of a false belief that you are pursuing this connection, you are chasing your twin flame. Whatever you are doing, your twin flame runs away from you, and you start taking that as a rejection or as a proof that you are not enough or as a evidence that your person doesn't love you. And this sort of a wound somehow keeps you stuck in that chaser's loop where you are victimizing yourself. You feel that you are rejected, you are abandoned. And because of such false belief system or the wound that you are creating for yourself, because your twin flame is running from you and you're taking it in such a way that there is something that is missing in you, your interpretation of why your twin flame is running from you is completely based on a false belief system that you are lacking something, there is something wrong with you. Most of the twin flames tend to take the behavior of their twin flame very personally. Even if they do something very small, you will spend nights and weeks in overthinking about that small gesture that they did towards you, and you would overthink and you will really start taking that personally and feeling bad about their actions. However, the most important statement that I want to make is that the twin flame who is running from their personal inner conflicts, some sort of a conditioning that is stopping them to interact with you. They are not necessarily rejecting you, but they are not able to face their inner issues that are coming to surface after they are facing you, after they are interacting with you. As we say, that twin flame connection is a mirror, right? You are a mirror to your twin flame and your twin flame is a mirror to you. So when they start looking into this mirror, there are so many things that are surfacing in their life which they are running from, their own density energy, their own ego issues, their own conditioning. It's not you that they are running from. When they see you, when they look at you, you show them the mirror and they are not in the state of facing themselves the way they are by looking into that mirror. And I think most of the people don't understand this and they start taking things personally. Welcome back to my channel Awaken with Pradnyaa, and all those who have not subscribed to my channel, I urge all of you to subscribe to my channel. There are more than 200 videos that I have put on this channel. So anything and everything that you are going through, if you are confused, if you are in pain, I hope that most of those videos that I have made will help you when you are truly needing that sort of information. I also take group sessions and I have also written 5,000 plus answers on a website called Quora. So anybody who wants to get to know more, anybody who wants to connect to me on Instagram or on Quora, please feel free to look into the video description. All the links that are related to my work are given in the video description. When you stop taking this particular thing personally that they are running from you, you are understanding that they need their space and they are running for their own reasons. What happens is that you also start getting a lot of space for your own inner work. You start looking inside of you, you start understanding that whole isolation that is provided to you. You would start tapping into the deeper truths of your spiritual journey, your spiritual understanding, even your twin flame connection for that matter. However, if you are not understanding why the person has got disconnected from you or why that person is running, you will keep going into the loop endlessly with this overthinking process that why they are running and what can I do to make them come back. So most of your focus in your journey is about how can I make the person come back to me. You will go to tarot readings, you will go to astrologers, you would do psychic readings. Most of the readings will tell you that, oh, within 2 months the masculine is going to come back. So most of your feeling is about something else is controlling your life. Your twin flame is not with you, and you are desperately trying hard to get them back, come what may. You are ready to do whatever it takes to get them back. So you are becoming like a obsessive person in love who is holding so much of uncertainty, insecurity, fear, and the overall aim of your life is how to make that person come back to you. And that is not an ideal scenario to be in if at all you consider your journey as a true twin flame journey. The ideal situation is you understand why the person is running. You don't take that personally. You give them their space. You understand that there is a certain processing time that they will take to process whatever they are processing. And meanwhile, you acknowledge your isolation and start using that isolation to go deeper into your own understanding, understanding this connection more, understanding yourself more, understanding the spiritual path more, and start practicing coming into your own inner balance. I think the journey is all about that. So if you're wondering like what are the issues that they are actually running from, the runner is a denial of their inner conflicts. They are not in the denial of you as such. So anybody who is taking this whole runner behavior in a very personal way and blaming yourself, putting yourself in the corner, thinking that you are the one who has done something wrong and that is why you are being punished like that, or there is something that you need to do. You need to understand that the person is not running from you because you lack something. They are running from their own inner conflicts. And somehow I feel that when they are running, it also shows you that you are also running from some things. Probably you are not really seeing what actually is making you so agitated, so insecure, so fearful. Your twin flame's behavior is also showing you that when it comes to the mirror perspective, if you are feeling imbalanced, if you are feeling agitated in your connection, there is something that you also need to look at. And don't take their behavior as a rejection or as a sign of abandonment. First is fear of facing the truth. They have got this connection with you and they are constantly questioning that whatever has happened to me, whatever connection I'm feeling with this person, is it true or is it not true? If we consider that person as a masculine dominant, they will try to put this whole experience in a logical structure, and that logical structure doesn't allow them to even believe this, that there is some sort of a very intense and deep connection that I have found with somebody. So they are running from facing the truth. If they are in a complicated scenario like already having a partner, already married, having kids, there is a societal construct around them, they will definitely have this fear of facing the society, how they are going to acknowledge this connection in front of anybody else. So there is some sort of a shame, guilt, this particular fear that how they are going to be perceived by the society, in their office, in their family, in their relatives, in their social circles. Another possible major reason could be their past failed relationships. They are already having this extra careful attitude because some relationships in the past did not work out, some relationships were toxic, something did not align. So they are extra careful about getting into something that might again put them in a repeated pattern or a repeated pain, and they want to protect themselves from that to happen. Another major reason is their inability to handle the intense emotional nature of this connection. If we consider your runner twin flame as a masculine dominant, the handling of the emotions would not come to them as naturally as the feminines. Feminines are inward, they are intuitive, they are accepting of their emotions, they are good at processing their own emotions. But when it comes to the masculine dominant runners, they are not good at handling their emotions. In fact, they are trying to mask those emotions completely in their life. So when it comes to this sort of a connection in their life, it challenges them very heavily on an emotional side. And when it comes to processing those emotions which are challenging them, they are not ready to process those emotions. They are running from those emotions. So the intensity of the emotions and the nature, the emotional nature of this connection also is one of the reasons why they would run. And the next point is very much connected to this whole emotional intensity that this connection has is absolutely overwhelming them and it is scaring them away. In my connection, when my twin flame started feeling this overwhelming intensity that was very emotional in nature, it literally scared him away. He was so scared to even talk to me. He never even dared to call me on a video call because he would have to see my face. We can look into each other's eyes, and that was something absolutely scary. It really overwhelmed him emotionally. And that was the reason why he completely avoided contact with me, speaking with me, seeing me so many times. And I know that somewhere in his heart he was longing to be with me. He has also said that so many times when I was alone I used to cry missing you in my room, and I was shocked with that sort of a revelation that, oh my god, I couldn't ever believe in my wildest of the wildest dreams that he is alone in the room and he's crying because he's craving for me or longing to be with me. I couldn't ever imagine that. However, the reality on the other side was that he never showed it to me, and his actions did not match with his feelings. But most of us who are facing this particular running scenario with our twin flame, we need to understand that don't take things personally. The way they are feeling inside their heart can be completely different and probably completely opposite than what you are thinking or what you are concluding from the way they are behaving with you. And last but not the least, the karmic commitments that they have. Mostly the masculine dominance in the male body. They have this in their mind that I have a family to look after. I am the man who is the savior of my family, the protector of my family. And I have these duties, and my duties come first. Everything else comes later. And they are able to put that in some sort of a logical structure in their head, and they start acting according to that. And that is why their response to your emotional intensity is running. So, if you look at all these reasons, you will realize that the true reason is not you. They are not running from you because you are overweight or you are looking bad or you have done something wrong or you have said something wrong to them. Things will start shifting inside them only when they face themselves, and they will only face themselves when if you are giving that sort of a space to them, and they will only get that space when you leave them alone. Don't get into the nagging phase where you are again and again sending them messages, questioning them why they are not replying. This is not really coming from the balanced place. This is something that is coming from an absolutely fearful, uncertain, insecure place in your heart. And that is what you need to heal rather than making such a hue and cry about why they are not coming back. Another aspect I want to talk about is very much energetic in nature. In my journey, even before we were introduced to each other, we ran from each other. There was a big fight that happened between us, and there was no contact. We were separated even before we met. We both were literally looking at each other as enemies, and there was so much of negative energy that was purging from both of us. I think if I look at it from the energy perspective, I feel that any twin flame encounter and the soul recognition that happens with that twin flame encounter has something to do with the energy dynamic that you hold. I feel that the reason why we ran from each other so hard after the first encounter and that separation took place even before we were introduced to each other, because the whole remembrance, whatever must have happened in our past lives or whatever density that we were holding in our energy body, we definitely went through this experience of soul shock. And that soul shock was about triggering deep rooted density that we were holding in our energy body. And with that encounter, that activation happened when we looked into each other's eyes, or whatever soul recognition happened at whatever level. And that energy was so much in the repellence because there was so much that we had to purge. Probably we were really carrying a lot of baggage and negativity in our auric field. And because of that negativity at both sides, there was this absolute energetic repulsion that took place. And because of that, we kept running from each other for 7 years almost after that. That sort of a running takes place when there is a lot of heavy energy inside you as well as inside them. So if there is a heavy disconnection, if there is a heavy separation, if there is a heavy running, if you are experiencing, know that either on that side or your side or on both sides, there is a very heavy energy that you're holding, which is repelling both of you against each other. It will only start balancing when you start purging the negative dense energy and start balancing yourself. And that's why we call this as a spiritual journey, because it pushes you to purge what doesn't serve you, and it starts aligning you to your highest best version. When I started understanding this particular phenomena in my journey, initially in my journey, I used to feel devastated for almost 6 months if my twin flame runs. But as I started imbibing or embodying this understanding into myself, slowly my response also started changing. So it's not going to happen overnight. If you listen to this video today, I'm not going to say that, oh, tomorrow you will be able to behave in such a manner. It is going to shift slowly. However, you being mindful about this particular understanding is most needed. When I started progressing in my journey, every time my twin flame ran after the conversation or a connection, every time I was affected by that. But every time the duration for which I was affected started getting shorter and shorter. So initially, I used to feel devastated for 6 months. Later, I started feeling devastated for 2 months. Then it came to 1 month, it came to 1 week, it came to 2 days. And finally, it also came to a place where within an hour, I was able to get back to my own integrity and inner peace. I used to understand that, okay, I'm triggered, but yeah, he needs his own space. Within an hour I would be back to that place. And I think that is what indicates our progress. So I hope that this particular understandings make a lot of sense to all those who are feeling that their twin flame is running because of them, or they are blaming themselves for why their twin flame is not talking to them. Stop feeling guilty for whatever you have done. And also, one very important parting statement I want to do before I close this video is that everything that happens in this journey is a part of the divine intervention. So whatever you do, don't feel that you have committed some sort of a mistake, you shouldn't have done that. Don't get into this whole vibration of guilt and regret, because whatever you are doing is going to teach you something on this journey. It is definitely going to improve your understanding on this journey. So don't feel afraid to make mistakes. Don't put yourself responsible for things that are not going your way. Open your heart and start seeing the bigger picture, start seeing the true nature of this connection, and only then and then you will be able to bring some sort of a shift in your journey, and maybe your twin flame will also start shifting with you. So this is all for today. See you in the next video. Namaste.